Good morning, everyone. Dr. Vicky here, speaking to you from the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center in Wareham, Massachusetts. Today is, Sunday, July 30th, and the moon, as we all wake up this morning, is in Capricorn. Practical and pragmatic Capricorn. Gotta love it. So I thought we'll talk about the astrology, but I thought I'd show you, and I wish I had smell-o-vision, what it's like when I walk out the front door. And there's Charlie, because he leads the way. And this is the not particularly safe, but very deliciously smelly side porch here. We have a bowl of basil. And then you walk down and we have the honeysuckle on both sides. So it smells like heaven as you come out. A little more honeysuckle over here. And in the spring, we have, these are, as you probably remember, these are lilacs. So there's always a good smell coming out of the house. And we're going to walk down the stairs and try not to step on my cat. All right, and then we have rosemary here, which I like to rub and smell every morning because it's good for your memory. And it's hard to keep all these planets in my head. And there's the hydrangea, the oak leaf, and it's turning that pink color, which is so beautiful. Oh, I would love a dress with those colors in it. Yeah, well, we'll see. I can't afford a dress right now. And there's the fig tree in the pot. I have a couple of these are ornamental peppers. And we have another ornamental pepper over there. And then usually it's past now, but this is where the lilac is, which is in homage to my sister, who will be gone now in August, 4 years. Hard to believe. We have a beautiful, cool, oh yes, it was true. They weren't lying to me. Beautiful, clear morning. We haven't had a clear sky in so long, between clouds and humidity and fog and smoke, and it feels like a whole new world this morning. And Michael's garden is looking good. The tall things, those are sunflowers. We have to put them in the garden because otherwise all the critters eat them before they have a chance to grow. We have some sort of, I think that might be a squash of some sort. Or Noah, my husband, he put a pumpkin in there, which is crazy because it's too small. But we got some peppers on the vine here. And I will take you over to Michael's garden now that he has finished making the beds and has put some transplants of some of his tomatoes. And we have the hibiscus ready to bloom. Look at the flowers. This is the this is the plant that Ona calls hibiscus. You can see the hibiscus from space. I love it, man. All right, let's talk astrology. So we have the Capricorn moon. That puts us in a practical mood, as it were, and a mood to get what needs to get done, roll up our sleeves. And let me tell you, it's a lot easier to roll up your sleeves when it's not like 1,000% humidity. Yesterday was a most horrific and hot and humid day. And then the storms came through, and we have a beautiful day. And they say it's going to be like this for a couple of days, and I'm psyched. We have some roses here. Canna lily here, which incidentally the hummingbirds love. Yep, I love those. All right. The daylilies. I think Michael said that these are called screaming Bengals or Bengal tiger lilies. I don't know. And the Asiatics. And just a few Rudbeckia. I'm surprised. This is usually full of Rudbeckia. But, every year it's different. Now, the hydrangeas, look at the size of this thing. They didn't get many blooms on them. And we were down the Cape the other day picking up some cement board to redo the bathroom. And I took notice in the very, very few hydrangea flowers. So I think it was just not a good hydrangea year. And of course, Cape Cod is known for their hydrangeas. So I know it's a big disappointment for them. But there were a couple out. But the older plants, nope, they didn't have a lot of flowers on them. All right, and then we have some roses over here. So let's talk a little astrology while I take you up the hill. Now you might notice that my grass is a little overgrown. Something's wrong with my my mower. I think it's not the mower. I think it's the thing that charges it, or it's the battery. I'm not sure. But I have a friend who's got the same mower, so I'm going to bring my battery over to her and see if it's the battery or the charger, and then I'll have to get a charger. But it's it's deep and it's interesting now. But I'll tell you who loves this. Not me. I like to have just a little bit of a lawn. But the bunnies love this. This is like a salad bar on steroids for them. All right, let's walk through the tall grass here. So Capricorn moon. Now we have to remember we do have an exact aspect between Venus and Neptune, and an inconjunct. Neptune is a higher octave of Venus, so these two planets are connected. There's a challenge between being compassionate and delusional with that combination. Now, Venus is actually part of a Yod configuration, and this inconjunct to Venus from Neptune is the second of three, and that's because Venus is now retrograde. And so it's been in this Yod it's been a long Yod. Yods don't usually last very long because usually, especially when you're dealing with a planet like Venus, which tends to move fast, and of course, the other two parts of the Yod, which are Pluto and Neptune, move very slow. So any planet in the latter degrees of Leo, as it moves through Leo and goes into that latter degree, will go through this sort of, what do they call that? When you run through the gauntlet of this Yod, asking us to make adjustments. Interestingly enough, this Yod is very much on Trump's ascendant, because he has ascendant at the last degree of Leo. And it also affects, although not exactly his Mars. It's not really in the Yod, but it's sort of there. So speaking of, here's the apple tree. Beautiful Granny Smiths just up to the sky. Granny Smiths. And that's something else I noticed when we went down the Cape, was there were a lot of apples on the apple trees. So this is definitely an apple tree kind of season, seems. All right. So we have this Yod with Venus and Neptune and Pluto asking us to evaluate our values, make adjustments as necessary, and remember that we're not the only people on the planet, that we need to take into consideration the collective, which of course you and I do, because that's who we are. But not everybody is so generous, I guess we could say. But people are learning. And, we're all connected. It's easy enough to see. As one suffers, we all suffer. And if we don't make the right decisions, that's not going to change. Oh, check this out, guys. Can you see that sunflower over there? I should try to do something fancy. Hold on. I'll put my coffee down. Sorry. Great camera work, Skirbo. Let's see if we can. There it is. It's the first sunflower in Michael's garden, but I'll take you around. I'll take you around. Okay, good. I didn't mess anything up. No, good. The other thing that's going on now, the pressure has not released from Pluto squaring the nose. Very, very powerful. The other thing about the yod, which I should have brought up before I talked about the square of Pluto to the nodes, is that it's actually two yods, and it's between. We have the one yod with the focal planet being Venus, and it's actually interconnected with another yod where the focal planet is Neptune, and we have Venus making a sextile to the south node of the moon in Libra. So we have Neptune, Libra, the Libra energy, and the Venus in Leo energy, all sort of connected in these sort of interconnected yods, again bringing up the issue of compassion for others, values, resources, self-expression. Very powerful for the feminine energy here. So here are the beds, finally, with most of the tomato plants. He had put all the tomato plants in the corner over there, in front of the, and you can see the flower over there. And he actually had to move them all. So these were moved in pretty hot temperatures. We could see that they're a little bit bedraggled, but they're doing much better. And the rain we had last night was just a blessing for these. And so now that this is done, it's going to be a no-till situation. And I think he's going to put a cover crop on it. And that helps with, actually that helps, the more compost you use, it helps with carbon storage, I think, carbon storage. Really, a lot of the solutions for how we can, as individuals, make a difference in this climate change is to go back to kind of the old ways of farming and gardening, and all of this factory farming and stuff is part of the problem. And so we really kind of have to go back to the old ways, but we do have technology on our side. So the old ways, while a little bit, let's just say, physically demanding, we don't have to use the oxen unless we want to, I guess. But I mean, oxen wouldn't be bad either. I'm sure they help the situation. So come over here. I want to show you this too, because I noticed this the other day. I said these tiger lilies, they kind of grow wild, and here's our little tiger lily patch over here, growing wild. Here we go. So lovely, right? And then we also have, and I don't see any right now, they'll probably open up a little later, this stuff right here, that is trumpet vine. And so we'll also over here have some of the trumpet vine flowers. But as I said, oh, maybe here's one. There's a trumpet vine flower down there. It's just too covered up. And the hummingbirds love that as well. So that's the story, Morning Glories. So, trying to figure out what's important to us. That yod to Venus and the yod to Neptune, interconnected. The nodes of the moon squared by Pluto, resolution node, south node. Pluto in Capricorn, abuses of power, south node in Libra, law. And then the north node in Aries, being ruled by Mars, which is in Capricorn, tells us step by step we need to make the adjustments necessary to move in a new direction. I'm really quite, we have all this Trump stuff and this craziness and but we're really, really, really moving in the right direction. And I kid you not, I'm not just blowing sunshine up your butt. Although after all that heat, who would want it anyway? We are changing, and the awareness is there. And there is more and more willingness every day to change things. And we can do it in our own little way, like we try to do here at the seats. It's an overwhelming task sometimes. All of this has to get cut away. This is all, I wouldn't call it weeds, but because we don't call anything weeds here, but this needs to be cleared out a bit. That was really my job, but it was so hot that every time I came out here, I felt like I was going to pass out. So I lacked a little ambition on the job here, but that's what's going on, guys. All right, I've kept you long enough on this beautiful. I could talk all day because it's not hot and it's beautiful. I have so much to say, it seems. So Taroscopes are out. Check those out. I'm going to be on. With Ona. I'm not sure when that's going to happen. The full moon is actually on Tuesday, so maybe tomorrow, Monday. It depends on her work schedule, or maybe today if she's available. So keep your eyes peeled for that. That's on her channel, Ona's Tarot, and it's called Moonshine. And I'll have the Astrology and Kabbalah of August out today. I was working on it yesterday in the heat. And then I said, oh, let me videotape this. And then I looked at myself, after a day of heat. And I was like, you know what? I'll just wait until it gets cooler. It'll be much better. So that's what's happening. All right, guys. And I have decided that I know a lot of you have been wanting to do some classes with me, some astrology. I have a beginner's astrology, and I've been talking about it, but I haven't actually put a date on it. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start my classes in September because, everybody's on vacation, and it's hard to get a group of people to commit, and I don't blame them. I would, if I was going to be on vacation or had to be in class, I'd want to be on vacation. So I will keep you abreast of what's being offered. I'm going to be doing a beginner's, probably an intermediate as well. I have my Tuesday night salons that anybody who has astrological knowledge can join. It's a separate thing. You can join one class, or you can take a thing of 6 classes, and it's pretty reasonable actually. So if you're interested in that, we talk about like everything that's happening, either politically or even just astrologically. And it's really a lot of fun. It's a lovely group of people. And also, I am devising a Kabbalah class for astrologers. If you are an astrologer and you've been interested or intrigued by the Kabbalah work that I do, I will have a special class for you. There's so many layers to this, that if you understand astrology to start with, you get it's like a step up, and we can get right into the Kabbalah as it relates to the stars. All right, I said I was going to go, and I haven't gone yet, so you guys don't have that much time. Have a wonderful day. Much love, everyone. For me and Charlie and the Bun Buns and all the critters. Namaste.